Bong Joon is one of the best directors working today, and his new movie finally dropped. I've been waiting for this movie for like 2 years now. One of my most anticipated movies of the year. I wanted to watch every single Bong Joon-ho movie and rank them on this tier list, because there was a few ones I still haven't seen, like Mother, Okja, his very first movie, and The Host. I've seen all of them, and let's just get started. Also, no spoilers for any movie that I'll be discussing. Alright, let's start with Mickey 17. Look guys, I'm not gonna lie to you. I wanted to love this movie so much, and I didn't. I didn't love this movie. First of all, I didn't love literally any of the characters other than two. Mark Ruffalo and Toni Collette. They absolutely stole this movie. They were chewing up the scenery, dropping one-liners. They were funny as hell. Really exaggerating his performance about this like really crazy leader. Their chemistry, it was absolutely amazing. Every time they were on screen, there was a smile on my face. Every time there wasn't, I was like, what's going on here? Bruh. Robert Pattinson, great performance and amazing actor, but his character I did not like, I didn't care for, and frankly I found him annoying. I also didn't like the supporting cast either, not because of they were bad performances, I just didn't like any characters, man. Just the tone, and frankly just the story in general. Like the story on paper, I just didn't find that fascinating, and a lot of crazy themes, deep themes that they could have explored in a much more meaningful way, in my opinion, that connected with me emotionally. I was not invested in this character. I was not invested in this story. I was not really invested in this ice planet and the creatures. Creative design, I'm not gonna lie, very creative design. I was like, okay, this is very different. I like what they're doing. No spoilers again, but there's the subplot about some serial killer. That's all I'm gonna say. I was so interested in that like backstory about that person. Can this entire ship and ice planet just explode and we can have this entire movie be about that weird serial killer they showed a bit? Also, there was a lot of attempts at humor that just didn't work for me like at all. And Bong Joon-ho has a lot of really funny moments in his movies, but this was not one of them. But this is not a boring movie. This is a pretty well-paced movie, and frankly I don't see myself rewatching this movie anytime soon, although I am open to it. And I'm gonna put Mickey 17 in the B tier. Up next, we have Parasite. Pretty boring movie, doesn't have much to say. I'm just playing. This movie is incredible. This is a borderline masterpiece. Fuck you. At the exact moment the end credits came, I was like, this is going to be a modern classic. 50 years from now, we will still be talking about this movie, still analyzing it, still discussing it. A lot of people think it's the best movie of the century so far. I don't think it's number one, but it's definitely up there. Also, Song Kang-ho, my bad if I pronounced that incorrectly, but this man might be one of my favorite actors of all time, like just in general. Sorry, I'm gonna just go on a tangent glazing this guy, because he needs to get glazed. Every single movie I have seen of him, he is the best part. Not one of like the number one best actor in every movie that I have seen him in. Parasite is his best performance in my opinion. Like this guy, this man, whoo, oh my, he's incredible. That's an actor. He is him. And everyone gave a great performance, and he still stood out. Like, I can't glaze this guy enough. There's so many moments where my jaw was literally on the floor. I was like, again, no spoilers, but the finale of this movie is literally just like speechless. And I'm so happy it won Best Picture. Was it my favorite movie of that year? No, because one day we might talk about that, but it was probably my number two. That was a great year for movies, so that is no disrespect, but I was very happy that it won Best Picture. I love movies that kind of genre change throughout the movie. Like the movie starts out like kind of a like dramatic heist movie, and then before you know it, like I'm not gonna say anything, it just turns into something else, and then you're like, what is going on? Give this man more Oscars. Make it rain with Oscar statues on him. Bong Joon-ho, dude, if he makes another movie like Parasite, woo, the glazing will never end. That's all I'm gonna say. Also, this is a hilarious movie. There's many moments where I was actually like laughing out loud, and that rarely happens. And this movie was so investing. I was like, there was times where I was gripping my fists. That is very rare, very rare. Very few amount of movies makes me have a physical reaction to what's going on screen. That's very powerful. That is art at its best. That is art at its highest degree, where literally it's changing the physical world around you. That's crazy. I was gripping my chair watching this movie. Okay, all right, I need to stop glazing. But anyways, oh my god, dude. The visual symbolism of this movie. All right, literally the first shot is like a window, like a top window. It's a very small window, and they're like hanging their socks, right? That just shows how poor these people are. They don't even have like a backyard, and they don't have like a big window for a lot of sunlight. It's just like this little window, and oh my god, and that's just one example. There's visual metaphor symbolism all over this movie. The cinematography, oh my god, dude. Oh my god. Woo! Oh, dude, bro, I'm getting hyped up just talking about this movie, bro. I'm gonna watch it again. Anyways, oh my god, the dialogue. Wow, dude, this movie. Oh my god, dude. Bong Joon Ho, bro. Bro, he's my boy, bro. Bong Joon Ho, bro. Where you at, bro? Like, we should hang out sometime soon. Anyways, the only part that I didn't love and would glaze is kind of like there's like this romantic thing going on with the son and the daughter of the family. I didn't love that. I'm not saying it's bad or like I was taken out and annoyed by it. But no, it was just like that was like the only part where it just wasn't perfect. That's pretty much it. And this movie is crazy intense. Wow, man, this movie, oh my god. And this movie is so relevant today, and a lot of themes about greed, class discrimination, just all over, comparing and contrasting how the rich family perceives rain and how the poor family perceives rain and how rain affects them. Every single character has a distinct personality. A lot of these characters have charm, relatability, like, oh my, dude, everyone was locked in. Everyone was on their A game in this movie, especially Bong Joon Ho, that just literally went like, he went like Kubrick mode on this movie, bro. Okay, I think I glazed this movie enough. Borderline masterpiece, modern classic. We will never stop talking about this movie. Bong Joon Ho, you can die happy just because of this one movie. Okay, up next we have Snowpiercer. This is the very first Bong Joon Ho movie I've ever seen. This movie is incredible. This movie is easily A tier. This is Chris Evans' best movie, and I would say it is probably his best performance. First of all, if you don't know, basically the world is like filled with ice, post-apocalyptic. Every human is living on this one train. Poor people are in the back, rich people are in the front. They start a rebellion, and we have our movie. I love the lore. There's literally stories about, oh, back then the train, you know, all these other stories about the mythos of this train. Again, no spoilers, but the night vision sequence. The night vision sequence, it was literally amazing. It was so intense. I put myself in the character's shoes. The night vision scene, I was throwing combos. I was throwing like sidekicks. Bro, y'all don't know me. And this movie has some of the best villains in any Bong Joon Ho movie. Oh my god, those two brothers, especially that specific brother. That guy is a menace. That guy is a dangerous menace, and I'm scared of him, and please keep him away from me. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say. And the action scenes in this movie are gritty, they're visceral, they're raw, they're so realistic, man. Some of the best action scenes I've ever seen. The shirtless dude, like, I think he's mute, like he never really talks, but that guy popped off, dude. That every single time that dude was on screen, I was like, there was a few moments, especially one moment, where I was like, okay, that's not gonna happen. No, that thing happened. It really happened. It happened the most. And a few times I was touched emotionally. And there's like this weird drug that a lot of people are addicted to called like Chronol or something. This guy's hanging out with Chris Evans. Every door he has to open, he has to get a certain amount of Chronol or whatever. There's one moment where the guy's like, give me more Chronol, and like Chris Evans just like throws all the Chronol at him. Like, that was hilarious. I don't know why, things like that just make me laugh a lot. Once again, Song Kang-ho is the MVP of this movie. He was my favorite character in this movie. And the girl from The Host is in this movie. She's absolutely incredible as well. Tilda Swinton is also one of my favorite actors working today. Also, I love the production design in this movie because like everyone's stuck on a train. So as you go further in the front of the train, the nicer it gets. And a lot of these train rooms are very creative. There's like a bar, there's like a salon one, there's like a pool one, there's this, there's that. I just kept wanting to know more about this train. Like, can I get like a whole tour? What's in that room? Can you open that door? What's going on there? You know? Oh my god, this movie's so good. So good. And this is the Bong Joon Ho movie that I've rewatched the most. I've seen this movie like 5-6 times, and it's insanely memorable. This movie's incredible. A tier. Up next, we have Memories of Murder. Once again, this is an incredible movie. A tier. for sure. I love Snowpiercer more than this movie. I'm gonna just be honest. I know that's not the most popular opinion, but it's true. It could have been trimmed off just a little bit, like a little bit of fat, like 5 to 10 minutes could have been trimmed off. The ending, again, no spoilers, but it's like a gut punch. It's like a Wolverine with his claws punch into your stomach and you bleed out and you die. This movie has a lot of funny moments. Like his main partner in this movie is like this guy that just can't control himself. If you slightly make this guy mad, he will throw a flying kick at you. That guy was super hilarious. If you haven't seen this movie's about detectives trying to figure out this series of murders that this unknown serial killer or whatever is doing. Also, this movie is shot so well. There's like this one super long take near the beginning where like it's following the characters and he's just like insulting everyone. I love the insults in this movie. Like the main guys, they're always just like insulting people, hitting them, and explores a lot of great themes about corruption and intuition. I also just like the moments where they're just like eating. Like there's a few moments in this movie where they're just like eating and they're just talking, and I just really like those movies. And that is something Bong Joon kind of does, not in every single movie all the time, but he does have a lot of like just where people just like are eating and just talking, and I do really like those scenes. There was like one scene that I didn't really love. I believe it was like the karaoke scene. I was like, okay, like I didn't love this scene, but anyways. And it also has a really great opening scene where this kid just keeps mimicking the main guy, and it was like kind of funny. And this movie looks absolutely incredible. I love the choices of colors juxtaposing what's actually going on in the scene. And I love the dialogue in this movie. A lot of personality, a lot of character. It just felt real. Like you're like, these are real people in these real situations trying to figure out what's going on and what they can do. And it really did get to me a few times. It really did.
Run, bitch! Run!
Bruh. Bruh.
And up next we have The Host. This movie is going in the B tier. I love the creature design of this movie. Like, it was very creative, very intimidating. One thing that I can't stand is like fake out deaths. Like, it's like, oh, like they shoot in a way like this person's like eliminated, and then before you know it, it's like, oh, they made it out or whatever. This movie did that a few times, and frankly, the first time or whatever, I gave it a pass. I'm like, okay, like even the first pass, I was like, okay, I didn't like that you did that, but okay, I'll give you a pass. It's okay. It's okay. But then it did it a couple more times, and then I'm sorry, that was a big issue I have with this movie. I hate fake out deaths, but I love the family dynamic in this movie. I love the grandpa in this movie. I love the brother. He was incredible in this movie as well. Had an amazing payoff at the end. I love the final shot of this movie. I do think this movie also was a little bit too long. Also, there's a scene where the authorities are putting the main character in this like hazmat bag suit or whatever to take him to the hospital. That scene was absolutely hilarious. I just found that scene so funny to me. I also love the opening scene, and I love the backstory about how this monster just didn't like come to existence. Like, we kind of made this thing exist by being dumb and greedy, as usual. Also, I love the way the monster moves. Like, it does like jumping, and it uses its tail to do like gymnastic things on things that are on top of it. Like, very creative things. And I love the conclusion of this movie. It had a great payoff, an emotional payoff. Up next, we have Mother. I watched this movie for the first time yesterday, and I'm thinking either first on B tier or last place on A tier. I'm in a pretty good mood, and I did like this movie a lot, so I'm gonna put it on the bottom of A tier. And this movie, if you haven't seen it, is about a mother is searching for a killer who framed her son for a murder. This movie was very emotional. From the opening scene, this movie had my attention and made me laugh a few times just in like the first 5 to 10 minutes. It has a lot of funny moments, a lot of dark, disturbing moments as well. And there was this really nice moment with a lot of suspense and tension involving water and someone's finger. That's all I'm gonna say. Incredible scene. This movie is shot so well. This movie has a great ending. I love the ending of this movie so much. And it explores a lot of good themes about corruption, trauma, and perspective. Like, I love this movie, but there was a few moments where it just kind of meandered around the second act. Again, there was like this lawyer character that I really enjoyed in this movie. The friend character of the main son I liked. The main son gave an amazing performance. The mother knocked it out of the park. She did an amazing job playing this character, and there was a lot of moments where I just felt so bad for her and I was empathizing with her. And this movie had a few moments where I was just like WTF, what's going on here? What's going on there? And yeah, there was a lot of moments in this movie that I did not expect. Pretty damn good movie. A tier. Bottom of A tier. Up next, we have Okja. If you haven't seen this movie, this is about a young girl that risks everything to prevent a multinational company from taking away her best friend, which is a beast named Okja. And I'm gonna put this in the bottom of B tier. I don't see myself rewatching this movie ever again, to be honest, but there's a lot of great things. This movie is absolutely beautiful to look at. Like, from the very first 10 minutes, I was like, wow, like, this movie's shot very well. And Jake Gyllenhaal is in this movie, and he plays like this quirky, like, weird character, and he had a few laughs. Look, everyone has those certain topics or subgenres that they just don't like. Like, regardless, they're just not into it. Like, me, I have a few. Like, for example, movies about magicians and the magician industry, I don't care about. Movies about, like, stand-up comics and the stand-up comic industry, I don't care about either. And this movie also happens to be kind of one of those, like, oh, a young kid befriends an animal or an inanimate object that has consciousness or whatever. This is an amazingly shot movie, and Jake Gyllenhaal plays like this weird, quirky actor dude. He knocks it out of the park as well. Jake Gyllenhaal, he's one of the most riskiest actors of our generation, and I do think he's underrated. Yes, he gets a lot of praise. He is highly regarded, and I still think he's underrated. I didn't like almost any character in this movie. I was not invested. I did not care about what would have happened in this movie. There was a few fun sequences where they're chasing this beast and they're trying to get away. They're trying to save him. There's like this parade scene that was pretty good. But again, at the end of the day, I just don't care for these type of stories, and it's just a subjective thing. Yeah, I don't have too much to say about this movie. Also, there was a few poop jokes in this movie. Like, I'm not saying that every single poop joke ever automatically is bad. The ones in this movie were bad. And the attempts of comedy, 95% of the time, there was a few moments where I did laugh, but 95% of the movie, of the attempts of comedy, just fell flat to me. And it had a couple of themes that I was interested in, but it just didn't really explore them the way I wanted it to. But still interesting themes about animal rights, genetic mutation, selfishness, fate, like a lot of good things going on, but this just wasn't my type of movie. I'm probably never going to watch this movie again. I would recommend it from your own opinion, and the things that I didn't like might be the things that you do like. So still check this movie out. It's not a bad movie by any means. It's just a movie that's just not for me. And his very first movie, Barking Dogs Never Bite, I watched this movie like 2 days ago, and I literally forgot 99% of this movie. The only thing I remember is a character was running and they looked really goofy while running. Like, they looked really dumb while running, and that's pretty much all I remember. I'm not saying this movie is bad. I'm just saying I literally forgot this movie, so that's not very good. I'm putting this in the C tier. If you didn't know, it's basically about this guy. He keeps hearing this dog yapping, and then he's had enough and he takes matters into his own hands. That's all I'm gonna say. I do remember while watching this movie, I just kept saying to myself, this should have been a short movie. Like, this movie does not have enough for it to be like a full feature length movie, at least for me. There was something about like this backstory about like this guy in this apartment that I was like, okay, like that was kind of interesting. And I'm pretty lenient on first feature film on directors. I'm usually not too harsh on them, and I'm not harsh on this movie at all. Like, yeah, your first movie's not gonna be Parasite level or whatever, but yeah, this wasn't my thing, and that was a can't wait to see what he does next. I didn't love Mickey 17. If there is like a Bong Joon Ho cut, the Joon Ho cut, the equivalent of the Snyder cut, if that drops, I will watch it, and I'm pretty sure it will be better if it does exist. And that's it for today, guys. I am genuinely interested in what your ranking is. What is your ranking? Why is your ranking that way? What's your favorite? What's your least favorite? Am I dumb? Am I wrong? What's going on with you? Thank you, guys. Bye.